This week, we're taking a look back at some of our amazing adventures with AI.
Now, how would you like to meet one of the most popular and highest earning Instagram models?
Well, you can't because she doesn't exist, but we go behind the scenes with the team that created her.
Lara's sniffing around the scientists who are bringing historic smells back to life.
So I guess I just put my nose in here.
And Spencer looks at the latest AI features on phones and tablets, but are they top quality or a bit rubbish?
Okay, it got rid of the bin and put another bin there.
We'll also meet the actors who say their voices have been manipulated by AI. We're getting used to AI being able to do uncannily human things, chatting with us, creating pictures and videos. But so far, all of this AI has used a lot of computing power. Even if you've been doing these things on your phone, it's been massive supercomputers in the cloud that have been doing the work and then sending the results down to your device. See, it turns out that the chips these computers were already fitted with, called graphics processing units, GPUs, are also really good at the calculations needed for AI. It's also the reason why GPU manufacturer Nvidia has risen to be one of the most valuable companies in the world.
But in the last year or so, we've seen the arrival of a new type of chip, an NPU, Neural Processing Unit. Now, these are specifically made for AI, and because they are smaller than GPUs, it means you can fit them in one of these.
That means that these chips can do some limited AI on your phone. And that's why we've started to hear phone manufacturers hyping up their Apple Intelligence, Samsung Advanced Intelligence, and enhanced personal assistants like Siri and Google's Gemini that can have more natural conversations with us.
How can I embarrass my sister during a wedding toast, but like respectfully?
Okay, here's the deal.
New Honor phones will understand the contents of your messages and open the best app to assist in whatever you've received. If it's an address, for example, it'll open Maps. This Samsung phone can now take your handwritten notes, summarize them, and make them into lists.
Ihr Telefon kann in Echtzeit übersetzen.
Your phone can translate in real time.
And in fact, Google's new Pixel phones will listen to your phone calls and summarize them for you in text form after you hang up.
One of the most recognisably AI things you can do these days is mess around with your photos.
So if you want something removed from your shot, including you, well, you can tap it, erase it, and the phone will fill in the gap with a pretty good approximation of the background. So now a few roadworks won't spoil your holiday snaps, and a random photo bomber won't ruin that otherwise beautiful moment. Remember though, generative AI can have its moments, so don't rely on it to understand exactly what you're after.
Okay, it got rid of the bin and put another bin there.
As well as removing things, you can also do completely the opposite, adding things in that weren't there in the first place. It's not just phones that are getting smarter, mind you.
This is the latest Microsoft Surface Pro, one of the new Copilot Plus brand of PCs and tablets with onboard NPUs. Now, this uses the inbuilt AI in a number of ways. First, would you believe good old Microsoft Paint has had a generative AI upgrade?
Now you can be a terrible artist and no one need ever know. Paint's AI assistant, Co-Creator, will take the most pathetic of drawings and use it as a guide to come up with something far more artistic.
Dum-de-dum.
You can dial the amount of AI flamboyance up and down, but although your sketch gives you some control over the end result, it can still be pretty unpredictable.
And then there's possibly the most far-reaching use of AI and large language models that I've seen so far. It's called recall.
This is like a photographic memory for your PC. Every few seconds, it takes a screenshot of what you're doing. And if much later on you vaguely remember something that you saw that you wanted to find again, you can describe it to the onboard assistants, and the large language model will go looking amongst all of the thousands of screenshots for things that might match.
Now, I know what you're thinking. If your computer is recording everything that you do all the time, huge privacy alarms. Am I right? That is why Microsoft is going to great lengths to reassure users that everything to do with recall stays on the device. Nothing goes anywhere near the cloud. You can also turn recall on and off for different websites, and this is also the reason why this feature is still being finalized and hasn't been rolled out yet, because this is one that Microsoft has to get right.
Google's launched a similar feature for its Pixel phones. Here you have to manually take a screenshot, after which it becomes searchable in the same way. Again, everything happens on device to keep everything private.
In order to work well, AI needs to consume a lot of training data. I mean, in an ideal world, it would swallow everything about everyone, but that is something that people are starting to get worried about. And I think these new onboard neural processing units are partly there to allay those concerns. They can't match the power of AI in the cloud, but they do allow certain AI functions without your data being shared with the rest of the world. It means that your personal assistant can stay a little bit more personal.
A photo shoot with no model. She's not late though, she doesn't exist. Aitana is an AI model. Since she was created around a year ago, she's amassed a big following and is making thousands a month for her Barcelona-based agency.
We intend to always try to make it as similar as what an influencer would do. We take a picture with me in the image and we have to replace it with AI. So we have to play a little bit with lights and shadows to make it as real as possible.
As well as the main images, Aitana's designers make short videos to post as her Instagram stories. Back in the studio, they plan the post.
Maybe that Barcelona as the background is gonna be more interesting.
And if we want, we can do a simple prompt now, put Aitana, and then complement all the prompt with more things like the clothes, the acting.
Clueless Agency won't say exactly which AI image generator they are using, but say they use a mixture of open source models like Stable Diffusion. Sometimes it can throw up some surprises.
And we train Aitana with...
That's interesting that you laughed at that one.
Aitana will never wear this, for example.
Right, that's what.
So it's funny because it's like, wow, I would love her to wear this, but she will not wear this. We spent like 2 months creating this personality and understanding how she would speak, how she would like interact with her community. So this is why we believe she has been working and she still works.
Once the image is chosen, the refinements and corrections are done. They start with seeing what Photoshop's inbuilt AI suggests, then touch it up by hand. Touch-ups used to take around a day, but now it's a few hours because of how the AI's improved so much. A few days later, here's the final product. I love this. They've just given us a printout of the very, very early days of Aitana's Instagram. So she only had 3,800 followers, and these are the early pictures. And what's interesting is they hadn't quite got the face perfect. So Aitana's face just changes slightly. The studio says they can get thousands of pounds a month for sponsored posts and endorsements with Aitana. She's now the most famous of this new wave of realistic-looking AI models. And there are plenty of them, some with hundreds of thousands of followers as well. Achieving realism in videos is proving harder, but but Aitana's team are experimenting too. Aitana also has an OnlyFans-style private membership for underwear and swimsuit shots. Her virtual life is built for her mostly male fans, a key demographic for these AI models. Some find the message they're sending to boys and girls troubling.
We're seeing AI, artificial intelligence influencers, and if you watch these, it is terrifying how real they are.
Danae Mercer is a well-being influencer who calls out fakery on Instagram.
I see huge issues with the rise of AI models and influencers. I think they're setting an unrealistic beauty standard that is close enough to being real that a lot of people who follow them don't realize they're not real, especially teenagers, young teen girls. But then the perfection is so unachievable because it isn't real that it's something like none of us can ever reach.
Aitana is marketed as a fitness-loving woman who lives a healthy lifestyle. She's even been sponsored by nutrition and sports brands. Is there a problem where you're promoting a body image of someone that is, in many ways perfect, but they don't exist? They don't go to the gym, they don't watch what they eat. And there are some people, some of your followers, that say, I wish I had that body.
In the beginning, we tried to make more curvy models, for example, or more not standardized models, and clients didn't like that. They usually want like a perfect model. But you can see this everywhere in publicity. At the end of the day, she's an influencer, but comparing her to the rest of the influencers, she looks the same as the rest.
Do you think that one day we just won't need any more real-life influencers or models?
I believe that we are here to stay, and AI technology is here to stay as well. So in a way, we have to combine and hold hands and see if we can do it together.